Tonight, we uncover the truth behind the mirror rituals, ancient midnight practices whispered about in every corner of the world. What began as harmless superstition has turned into something darker, something that refuses to stay just a story. For centuries, mirrors have been more than reflections. They've been used for calling, for seeing, for binding. Some believe a mirror holds a shadow self, one that watches, one that waits. And when the ritual is done the wrong way, that shadow steps through. In this investigation, we'll trace the roots of these rituals, from forbidden folklore to recorded encounters that should never have existed. You'll witness 3 true cases captured on camera, each one more disturbing than the last. And finally, we'll reveal a ritual so feared, even seasoned investigators refuse to attempt it. So stay till the end. Because the last ritual isn't just a story. Some say once you hear its name, you've already taken the first step. Tonight, we uncover the truth behind the mirror rituals, the strange midnight practices said to summon something from the other side. Stories of reflections that move on their own. Faces appearing where none should be. And voices whispering through glass long after the lights go out. Across the centuries, countless cultures have feared the power of mirrors. The ancient Japanese believed they held trapped souls. In Eastern Europe, mirrors were covered after death, to stop spirits from getting lost inside. And yet, some still look. In this investigation, we'll trace the origins of these rituals, from forgotten temples where mirrors were treated as sacred gateways, to modern recordings that defy logic. We'll witness 3 terrifying cases caught on camera, each connected by the same chilling pattern, a reflection that doesn't quite belong. And in the final chapter, we'll reveal the one ritual even the bravest researchers refuse to perform. A ritual whispered about only in fragments, passed down in secrecy, and said to reach beyond this world. It's the kind of story you don't just hear, you feel staring back at you. So stay until the end. Because the last ritual isn't just a legend, it's something that watches from your reflection, waiting for your eyes to meet its gaze. And once you've seen it, there's no way to look away. Mirrors. We walk past them every day, catching glimpses of ourselves, never stopping to ask what's really looking back. But long before mirrors were made of glass and silver, they were made of obsidian, water, and polished metal. And in every civilization that shaped one, there was always the same fear, that what stared back wasn't just a reflection, but a doorway. In ancient Japan, mirrors were treated as sacred objects. The kagami, they called it, a reflection of purity, truth, and the soul itself. But there was another side to that belief. Some claimed that if a person looked too long into their own reflection, their spirit could detach, drawn into the glass by something unseen. It was known as the Kagami curse. There are shrines still standing today where mirrors are never uncovered after sunset. Across the ocean, in Mexico, an old legend tells of La Ventana del Alma, the window of the soul. They believed every mirror captured a fragment of your life each time you looked into it. That's why, after death, families covered mirrors with black cloth, to stop the newly departed from losing their way and becoming trapped in the reflection. They said if you didn't, you could see the face of the dead staring back at you from the glass. And then there's Europe, where the stories turned darker. In the 19th century, children whispered about a spirit who could be called through a mirror by candlelight. A name repeated 3 times, Bloody Mary. They said she would appear behind you, her reflection closer than your own. The ritual became a dare, a game. But some accounts suggest it was never a game to begin with. There were reports of mirrors cracking, candles extinguishing, and a shadow that didn't vanish when the light returned. Every culture, every time period, every language, they all tell the same story. Mirrors are not just glass. They're thresholds. They remember. They listen. What if every reflection you've ever seen, every glance into the bathroom mirror before bed, stored a piece of your soul? Every smile, every stare, every shadow that passed behind you, recorded, somewhere, on the other side of the glass. Some researchers believe that's why mirror rituals exist. Not as games, not as myths, but as attempts to reach what's trapped within. To call it forward. To make it answer. So, would you dare stare into your mirror for 5 minutes straight, at midnight? If you just felt the urge to look behind you, that's how it starts. October 2013. A quiet campus in Michigan. Dorm room 204, West Hall. The lights were dim, the curtains drawn. On the desk, a single candle, a cracked hand mirror, and a phone that would capture her final broadcast. Her name was Allison Grant, 19 years old, first-year psychology major. She wasn't known for anything unusual: good grades, small friend group, a fascination with online trends. That week, a video was circulating through social media, the Midnight Reflection Challenge. You were supposed to stare into a mirror, say your name 3 times, and record whatever happened next. She went live at 11:59 p.m. Her followers, only a few dozen at first, watched as she set her phone against the wall and sat cross-legged in front of the mirror. The reflection trembled slightly in the phone's lens. She laughed nervously, saying, "Okay guys, if I disappear, tell my mom I love her." The comments began flooding in. "Do it. Say it again. Turn off the lights." And so she did. The room fell almost completely dark, lit only by the weak flame and the glow of the phone screen. Allison. 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 At first, nothing. Just her reflection, the same shaky candlelight behind her. But after the 3rd repetition, viewers began to notice something: a delay. Barely half a second. Her reflection blinked after she did. She stared at the mirror, trying to laugh it off. But the laughter was hollow. Her voice trembled as she whispered, is that me?" Then her reflection smiled. She didn't. In the chat, comments appeared in all caps: "She's still smiling. Look behind you. End the stream." But she didn't see them. Her eyes were fixed on the glass. Suddenly, her candle flickered, then bent toward the mirror as if drawn in by a gust of air from nowhere. The flame dimmed, the reflection flickered, and the feed cut to black. For several seconds, the only sound was her breathing. Then a scraping noise, something sliding across the floor. A thud. The phone fell sideways. The last frame of the stream, captured for less than half a second, showed her reflection standing still, while Allison wasn't. The video vanished from her account minutes later. It reappeared on a conspiracy forum 2 weeks afterward, labeled as recovered footage, The Candle Girl. Investigators confirmed the dorm was empty when campus security entered the next morning. The candle had burned down to nothing. Her phone was still recording. The police found her phone, but never her. Let's go back to the moment the video glitched. At timestamp 2:13 of the footage, right after she repeats her name for the 3rd time, the reflection delays, then blinks before she does. It's subtle, barely noticeable on first watch. But slowed down, frame by frame, you can see it clearly. The candle flickers once, then her reflection's eyes close, before hers even move. Some claim it was a streaming lag, an internet delay. Others say it was the moment something inside the mirror began mimicking her movements, out of sync, testing its control. Online forums dissected the footage for weeks. Brightness filters. Frame enhancement. Sound isolation. What they found was worse than anyone expected. Beneath her breathing, layered deep in the static, a voice can be heard whispering, counting. Some audio engineers believe it's her voice looping through feedback. But the tone is lower. Male. almost monotone. And it continues long after the feed goes dark. There are two theories that try to explain what happened that night. The first, a psychological one, the mirror hallucination effect. Staring into a mirror in low light for too long can cause the human brain to distort faces, creating illusions of movement or change. It's a trick of the mind, they say, a product of sensory deprivation, fear, and self-suggestion. But the second theory is older. Some cultures call mirrors soul recorders. Ancient obsidian mirrors, found buried in temples, were said to hold fragments of those who gazed into them. According to these beliefs, every time we look into a mirror, a faint imprint of our essence remains behind, a reflection that learns, remembers, and sometimes responds. Researchers studying these rituals refer to what they call echo reflections, instances where a person's reflection behaves independently for a split second before sinking again. There have been only 9 documented reports since the 1970s. In 6 of those cases, the mirrors involved shattered within 48 hours. In Allison's case, the mirror remained intact. But something else changed. Witnesses who saw the footage claim her reflection's face stayed burned into their minds. One student who watched the stream reported seeing her behind him in his bathroom mirror later that night. He withdrew from school a month later, citing hallucinations in glass surfaces. So what did the mirror record that night? A trick of the light, or a transfer? Whatever it was, the footage was erased 3 times from police archives. The copy that exists today circulates in hidden forums, re-uploaded under new names, never staying online for long. It's said that those who watch it to the end, sometimes catch their reflection blinking late the next morning. If you think that was unsettling, wait until you hear what happened to the next man. 3 years after Allison's disappearance, another video surfaced online. This time, from a different kind of creator, one who made a living chasing what others feared. His name was Evan Reed, a paranormal investigator known for exploring abandoned places and performing supernatural challenges live on camera. Evan's last upload was titled The Mirror Room Challenge, Real Ritual Test. The video begins in a long-forgotten motel off Highway 71, somewhere between Louisiana and Texas. It had been shut down for over 2 decades after a fire that destroyed half the rooms. Locals said one survived untouched, room 12, its mirror still hanging above the sink, unbroken despite the flames. The footage shows him stepping into the room. The walls are blackened with soot. Peeling wallpaper. The smell of smoke still heavy in the air. His camera pans slowly toward the bathroom. The mirror, streaked, dusty, but somehow clean at its center, reflects the faint glow of his flashlight. Evan's voice trembles as he speaks into the lens. They say if you do it right, it shows you who's really there. Not your reflection, but the thing that's been watching through it. He sets the camera on the counter, facing the mirror. Behind him, the flickering motel lights cast uneven shadows. He takes a deep breath and begins the ritual steps he found on an obscure paranormal forum, steps nearly identical to the ones from ancient mirror rites. He knocks on the mirror 3 times. Then, he says his name backward, 3 times. The silence that follows stretches too long. The air itself sounds thick. Then, his breathing quickens. You can hear the confusion in his voice. It's fogging up. I didn't touch it. The camera focuses on the reflection. And that's when it starts. His reflection smiles. Evan doesn't. He leans closer to the glass. His voice trembles. It's smiling. I'm not, but before he can finish, his reflection tilts its head, slowly, unnaturally, as if studying him. Then, it steps closer to the mirror, even though Evan hasn't moved. He drops the flashlight. The beam swings wildly across the walls. In the flash of light, for a split second, the reflection's eyes appear black, hollow. Then, everything erupts into chaos. The footage cuts in and out, white noise, fragments of motion, a brief glimpse of a hand pressed against the glass from the inside. Then, a scream, sharp, raw, and abruptly silenced. The camera falls, hitting the floor at an angle. All that remains is the reflection, perfectly still, staring directly into the lens, smiling. The video ends there. But 2 hours later, without anyone touching his equipment, the footage uploaded itself to his channel automatically. Metadata from the file confirmed the timestamp, 2:03 a.m., exactly 2 hours after his estimated time of death. Police found the room empty. No signs of struggle, no body, no footprints. The only thing left was the camera, still recording, facing the mirror. Investigators noted one strange detail: their reflections in the footage appeared a second too slow. The footage was uploaded automatically, 2 hours after his death. At this point, I have to ask you something, a simple question. Do you still have a mirror near you right now? Maybe it's the one hanging in your hallway. Or the one beside your bed. Maybe it's your phone screen, still catching your reflection as you watch. If it is, you might want to look away. Just for a moment. They say mirrors record more than just your reflection. They remember the faces that linger too long, the eyes that meet their own reflection after midnight, the ones that watch back. Now, I'm curious. Which ritual so far disturbed you the most, Allison's mirror game, or Evan's final upload from room 12? Tell me in the comments below. I want to know which one made you hesitate, which one made you look behind you. Because the next part of this story might make you think twice about turning off your light tonight. Keep watching. But whatever you do, don't blink at your reflection.
Suburbia. A quiet street. A family of 4 moves into their dream home, a 2-story house with white shutters, a swing in the front yard, and a basement full of forgotten relics from the previous owners. One Saturday morning, they visit a local estate sale just a few blocks away. It's one of those homes where every item feels heavy with age, like it's been waiting for someone to notice it again. And in the corner of the living room, covered with a dusty white sheet, they find it. A mirror. 8 feet tall, beautifully carved, its frame etched with winding roses and strange symbols that the seller claimed were decorative. The mother, Laura, calls it perfect. The husband pays $50. They bring it home and hang it in the hallway, right across from the staircase. For the first few days, it's just another piece of furniture. A reflection of family life, kids running, laughter, the hum of morning light. But by the end of the week, their daughter, Emma, begins talking to it. She tells her parents that her friend in the mirror says things, small things, at first. Compliments about her dress. A song they both hum before bed. But soon, her words change. She says her friend told her she used to live there too. That night, Laura wakes to a sound, gentle, rhythmic knocking. At first, she thinks it's from outside. But when she checks the hallway, the sound is coming from behind the mirror. She calls her husband. Together, they tap back, once, twice, 3 times. And the mirror answers. They call a technician the next morning, thinking maybe the frame's loose, maybe the pipes are shifting. But no, nothing explains it. So, the husband, curious and skeptical, decides to set up a hidden camera that night, just across the hall. He aims it directly at the mirror. At 3:14 a.m., movement. The reflection shows the hallway perfectly still, until the light flickers. For one frame, the family's reflection is visible, standing in the hallway. Even though the real hallway is empty. He watches in horror as the reflections begin to move. Slowly. First, their heads turn, all 4, in unison. Then, the mother's reflection raises her hand. The rest follow. But in the footage, the reflections aren't waving hello, they're waving goodbye. In the real hallway, moments later, the mirror explodes outward, glass shattering into 1,000 pieces across the floor. The noise wakes the entire family. No intruder. No movement. Just the broken frame and the hum of silence. But when they checked the footage, their reflections were still standing. Of all the rituals whispered through time, there's one that no one dares perform anymore. They call it the midnight mirror calling. It's said to be older than the stories we've told. Passed down in secret through monasteries, forgotten occult circles, and burned letters found in old manors. The ritual isn't about what you see in the mirror, it's about what sees you. To perform it, you must follow every step, exactly. Sit alone. The time must be 3 a.m. Not a second before, not a second after. You must face the mirror directly, no lights, no noise, only a single black candle placed right between you and your reflection. You don't blink. You don't look away. And when the candle begins to flicker, that's when you speak. Whisper your name, backwards. 3 times. Then ask, clearly and slowly. Who am I without light? According to legend, if you do it right, the air will shift. You'll feel your reflection breathe before you do. Some say the candle bends toward the mirror, as though drawn to something unseen. Others say the flame goes out, not from wind, but from inside the glass. And then, you'll hear it. A voice. Soft. Fragile. Familiar. Your own voice, answering you. But here's what the stories never tell you, the moment you hear your reflection speak back, it's no longer your reflection. Those who've tried it claimed they saw their reflection smile seconds before they did. Some said the reflection stood up as they remained seated. And some were never the same again. The earliest record of this ritual dates back to 1784, found scribbled in the margins of a priest's journal. He called it speculum tenebris, Latin for the mirror of shadows. The notes ended mid-sentence, smudged by what looked like blood, and a single phrase beneath it. It looked like me, but it wasn't. And that's why, even now, at 3 a.m., you'll never find a mirror uncovered in any monastery, or an old house untouched by dust. Because every mirror remembers the ones who dared to ask that question, and the voices that answered back. In early 2021, a video surfaced online, a piece of footage that appeared for less than 48 hours before being deleted from every platform. No one claimed to have uploaded it. No one could trace where it came from. They called it the final footage. He had spent months researching the so-called midnight mirror calling, even referenced the same 18th century text found in the priest's journal. And on the night of March 13th, he decided to record himself performing it, live. Alright, it's 3 a.m. I'm alone. Candle lit. No light except what's here. If anyone sees this, I did everything right. At first, everything appears normal. But watch closely. I can feel, like pressure, like something behind me. As he whispers his name backwards, a second voice joins in. The sound doesn't come from the room. Who am I without light? You're mine. Viewers who downloaded the video claimed that for a brief moment, just before the feed ended, you could see Eli's reflection still standing, looking straight into the lens. And then, the screen goes black. When authorities traced the location of the footage, they found the mirror shattered across the floor. The black candle had burned itself out. The camera was lodged inside the wooden frame, as if it had been pulled halfway through the glass. They found his camera inside the mirror frame. But not his body. Some say the mirror rituals are nothing more than hoaxes, fragments of old ghost stories, twisted and retold through generations. Others say the truth is far simpler. That once you've heard them, once you've imagined the candlelight, the whisper, the reflection, you've already performed the first step. You've already looked too long. You've already invited it to notice you. Right now, your screen is black. But if you're watching this in a dark room, you can see your reflection staring back, can't you? They say it starts small. A second delay in your movements. A flicker of something just behind your shoulder. A whisper that sounds too much like your own voice. And tonight, when you turn off your light, if your reflection moves just a second too late, don't scream. So, you made it this far. Did you make it through without glancing at your mirror? Because if you did, you've already done better than most. Comment below. I survived the ritual. I want to see how many of you are still here, watching. And if you're still brave enough, don't forget to like this video, and subscribe for the next story. Because the next one doesn't happen in a mirror. It happens inside your screen. See you, soon.